I will say it's been very difficult to kind of do anything in this environment that we're in due to the global pandemic, COVID-19. But since they took the last vote, there's been much civil unrest in our county. And you've seen, organizations such as Move the Monument Coalition start to form out of just grassroots organizing and people rallying and coming together around a common cause to get this statue removed. And they've been working very diligently to get their message out there, one, to educate people in this season that we're in, given this global pandemic, which I think is excellent. Looking at the larger picture of this, there's not a lot of true knowledge around the Civil War, specifically how it happened here in the Eastern Shore, more specifically Talbot County. So I think they're doing a great job of providing those educational opportunities for people to learn the truth about the Civil War through experts and bringing in different people and them telling what the Civil War was really about. And again, because of that rise and that coalition, then you've had the opposition to rise as well. Now, I will tell you that, I looked at the message that they have on their blue signs, Preserve Talbot's History. Well, you need to go a little further. What history do you really want preserved? And if you're saying preserve Talbot's history, we're only talking about that single monument there. And we know that that single monument is there to glorify slavery. It was erected in the Jim Crow era. It was meant to, again, to intimidate, scare, and any other divisive mechanism that would bring negative reactions to African American Black people of the county. And I think it was strategic of them to erect it on the courthouse lawn where everyone has to have business in the courthouse. So I think, but again, now we're in the 21st century. And is that the message that we want to display when we are living in a global, diverse society now? Because as of right now, that's what they're known for. Nationally, statewide, they're known for upholding a Confederate monument on a courthouse lawn. And that's really sad. So this notion of them not knowing that they were fighting slavery, fighting to keep slavery intact, no, that they knew that. They knew that very well. And to say that it was state right, I'll agree wholeheartedly with them. It was for state rights. But state rights for what? Let's dig a little deeper. And what we will find out is that it was state rights because they were fighting to say, hey, we don't need you to put your input in this. Let the states decide whether or not they want to maintain slavery or not. So I'll agree 50% with them that it was about state rights, but I would challenge them to dig a little deeper to find out why it was about states' rights. We have to be willing to engage in deep dialogue, courageous conversations about race. We have to be willing to look at ourselves, become self-reflective, and make the necessary changes, knowing that the changes may not be easy, but because you have developed these relationships with people outside of your normal community, they're going to walk with you on that journey. And they're going to help you. And you're going to help them. Because again, being a Black male, I don't know what it's like to be white. I don't know what it's like to have white privilege and live in a society where I get the privileges and things because I'm a white male. I don't know what that feels like. So that's a whole learning opportunity for me in itself. Laura Price never reached out to us to get our input in this Unity Monument. And then again, you call it unity. Well, how do you create unity when the same people who brought the issue to you and have been on the forefronts of this since the very beginning, you don't even contact to get us to weigh in it at all? I will go on record to say we're not in agreement with the Unity Monument. I see that as a quick fix. And that's not what is needed, because what's needed is reconciliation and healing from this process. You can't take a monument that has been dedicated to hate to a group of people for so long and then say, you know what? I have a fix for it. We're going to make modifications to that existing monument to put up the Union beside it, and then everything goes away. What that tells me is you're trying to now dismiss the feelings and lived experiences of black people. And that's not how we move forward. That's not how we get through this issue. We get through this issue by doing the right thing. And the right thing would be to remove that monument, find somewhere more appropriate to place it, because again, it is our history. And you know, if we don't learn from our history, then we're doomed to repeat it somewhere I read. So we don't want to destroy it, but we need to find a place that's more appropriate. And the courthouse lawn in the 21st century is not an appropriate place anymore. There is a time frame that I do have in mind to say that if we cannot get this down, then we need to ramp it up to the next level. And before I get to that, ramping it up to the next level, I want to make sure that I've done my due diligence in trying to be open, trying to have effective conversations with the government officials, so that when I ramp it up, they can't say that Richard Potter did this. Because then I'm going to say, but Richard tried to do this, and was denied at every step of the way. So you left me no other choice. You know, I've heard, you know, we may have to wait until 2022. I'm not waiting until 2022. I mean, why should we have to wait until 2022? We have a council that was elected to do the job, and that job does not require them voting to put this issue on a ballot. This is what leadership is all about, is making the tough and difficult decisions to benefit an entire community and just not one segment of our community.